Welcome back on the channel, hope you're doing great. I was doing a modular workshop last week. People there ask me a lot of times how I get this hypnotic, wet sound design. We all know that already, it's like filters that swipe really interesting. And how to get interesting swipes with interesting modulation. And I told them also about LFOs on filters, but also envelopes are actually better because they're giving you interesting shapes and not always the same looping shape. But the cool thing is the LFO is always kind of synced, so you can have like cross modulation over two LFOs and still will have super interesting results, but everything stays kind of synced. Now I found like a combination of both of that in one LFO, and as I show you now. Wavetable based LFO. You just drop your sample here and then the fun is starting. You can morph between the sample that you put in, because you just drop it here, right? And then you say, okay, I want the beginning of the sample or the end. And then you can zoom and scale it also and smooth it, of course, like always before. And then you get really interesting shapes. And I will try that out now in Ableton. I think you see what I mean. Yeah, and all this offset gives you really like a not looping element, what I always drive for in loop music like techno. So I want to show you how this thing works. I built here like a simple operator in the sequencer. Here we have a delay. And then here we are. You just take a sample. So in my case, I have some Atmo recordings and this like water sound from the boat. Let's take that and put it inside here. And he kind of loop it. You can see that here's a loop, here's a loop, here's a loop. And then you can zoom. So you zoom in. And then of course you can scale it also. So you see we're getting a really interesting function here. And then you can of course sync it, making it a bit slower. So we're getting like really frequencies here. We can smooth it of course a bit. Then scale it again a bit. Till you find like an LFO form that you kind of like. Now I would say we map this on the morph function here on the filter. And let's map it also on the fine tune here, or maybe on the volume of the second oscillator. And the idea is that I just show you this element now in a way that we just map it on everything. Maybe here on the decay. And now when we change just here some functions, I will change everything. Moving it a bit. And you see, you're getting this like weird line that's doing things. And in this case here, decay is moving really softly, and then we have the filter doing some weird stuff. And And all of this takes a lot of... Here's the volume. Maybe we map it even on the fine tune. And we even could do it on the wavetables. And then make it fixed. Yeah, that thing makes everything kind of alive. So what I did before with this one, now you get what I'm doing here. I just map all these offsets, taking 2 of them, and then you have this. And it kind of gives me this like hypnotic element that just plays in the background, making some like freaky sounds. And I can just play it in here and there sometimes. And then just change here some elements, even with the offset. Yo, and that's actually the short thing I wanted to show. I will put the link in the description. I have nothing to do with this person, I just bought it. I think it's a really cool device. I mean, if you start with cross modulation and you map one of the LFO to the other LFOs, we will be getting really interesting fields here. So yeah, that's it for this week. See you soon.